So one of the mysteries we're going to talk about in this lecture is submission orders. Submission order of like who do we submit to first? Do we submit to Sundance first? Do we submit to the regional festival first? And kind of like go through that, the protocol of going from bigger festivals to smaller festivals, and what the strategy is about that. So Chris, what do you think?
Well, I think before you can really accomplish, creating and sticking to a submission order strategy, you have to remove the emotion and the sense of urgency from getting your film out there. If you finish your film in August and you've completely blown the Sundance deadline, the best thing for you to do may be to wait for, whatever it is, April or May, when that deadline opens up again. And then you're basically sitting on your film for a year and a half, waiting for a submission deadline. If you think it has a real shot at getting into Sundance, that may be the best course for you. But I don't know a filmmaker in the world who's happy about sitting on their film for a year and a half. It's just, there's this urgency of wanting to get it out there and get it into festivals and get people watching it as soon as possible. And what that usually leads to is paying, in excess of $60, $70, $80, $100 for late, deadline submission fees, rushed submissions before a cut is really ready, all kinds of bad things. So I guarantee you most of the folks watching this won't have been thinking about festivals while they're in production, that their film is either already done or at least mostly done. And so right now you need to decide, what your priority is, whether it's to get this thing going into festivals as quickly as possible, or whether it's to spend as little money on submissions fees as possible and be patient to make the right submission strategy. A very common, you look like you want to ask a question.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The most common strategy that I've seen is for people to basically submit to Sundance first. It's the beginning of the year. It's, in the minds of a lot of people, it's the festival. It's the dream date, right? And then to submit to high-end festivals in the spring right after that, like South by Southwest, like Tribeca. And that's a solid strategy. That is, a definite way to go in terms of submitting to those high-end festivals first, and then letting your film sort of, trickle down, whether you get into one of those festivals or not. The festivals below that on the totem pole are the ones you want to submit to next. There is an alternative, and that is to submit to, high-end festivals in the fall. They do exist. Toronto, AFI Fest, Austin is a very prestigious festival. And those are all in September, October. And, chances are not good that you're going to get into Sundance following that. But if you kind of know that, Sundance is a crapshoot, and even more of a crapshoot for your film because you're just starting out and blah, 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 then you might be content with that. So whatever it is that you do, my recommendation is if, a big prestige festival is important to you for a feature or for a short, is to start with, a handful, somewhere between 8 and 12 high prestige festivals, submit to those and see what happens. Nothing may happen, and that's not the end of the world, but at least you knew that you didn't submit to a smaller festival and then had to be faced with the agony of telling that smaller festival, no, I'm still waiting to hear from Toronto, when they clearly wanted to play your film right then. The other thing that I've seen people do is to, submit to a wide range of festivals and just play whatever that they get to, particularly with shorts, because they know they can bounce around on the, on the totem pole. And yeah, it might cost them, something at a larger festival, but, those chances were so remote anyway, it's hardly worth bothering with.
So one thing I've heard of is that a film getting into Toronto, which is obviously one of the largest film festivals in the world, and then Sundance do pick it up right afterwards for the Sundance. So they'll have the Canadian or the world premiere up there, and then they'll have the U.S. premiere at Sundance. So if the film is big enough and does well, and it's something that Sundance would it has been done. There is a precedence for it. As well. But again, and it's something we've talked about before, is you really have to focus on the strategy that you're going after. So just because you're going to go after 12 of the big festivals, make sure that those 12 big festivals make sense for your film, for your topic. Do that research first, because if you have a gay and lesbian film, you might want to premiere at the biggest gay and lesbian film festival out there, because that's your market. You'll get more people interested in what you're selling. So, or if you're a horror movie, you might want to be at Screamfest, or you might want to be at Fantasia, or some of these big genre film festivals. You might make a bigger splash there than you would at a Sundance or a Toronto or any of the other big festivals. So do you agree with that, Chris?
I do. And for everything we're saying here, there is an exception. There is a film that somebody will point to and say, well, this film played like that between the Austin and South by Southwest Film Festival. Yes, I know of one, maybe two festivals off the top of my head that have played both festivals in the same year. But you know what? That's one or two out of hundreds, if not thousands, of films that have played those festivals, and thousands and tens of thousands that were submitted. So, you know, when we make a general statement about this process and somebody goes, but so-and-so did it, you know, chances are infinitesimally small that anybody else is going to be able to replicate that success.